Hi, my dear friends. Welcome back to another class of SQL. And in this class, we shall see how to use and implement the date functions of SQL. Okay, date functions in SQL. Well, with the help of these date functions, in various ways, you can basically access or generate some dates. Okay, which are very important in terms of database handling. So first of all, go to line number one and select this line number one, and which is our database that we have been using for the last couple of classes. That is class two. So use class two and hit the execute button. Commands completed successfully. Go to line number two and select asterisk from emp underscore inc. I hope you remember this table. Emp underscore inc table reflected the salary values of various employees, then designation values of various employees, department values of various employees, and EID values of various employees. Here we had records of 79 employees, 79 rows. Now go to line number 4. Here you can see after the select word, you have something known as getDate with parenthesis. This is a function available in SQL known as getDate function. The getDate function basically will yield, this getDate function will basically yield the current date, that is present date, that is today's date. So select this line number 4 and hit the execute button, and you see the present date is selected here, that the present date is displayed here. Of course, this kind of a function will generate a value for you, and that value will fall under a column. And to give a name to that column, I have chosen here a present date. Okay, you know how to give name to the column. You know how to give name to a column. So after the function, you have to give as, and then within single inverted comma, write whatever name you would like for the name of your column. Okay, so this getDate function gives you the present date, that is today's date. It is what today is 2024 1204, and besides that we have timestamp, that is 4th December 2024. 4th December 2024 is today's date. Then go to line number 6. Here you have some other function known as dateadd. After the select word, after the select keyword, you have this function known as dateadd function. The dateadd function will, here you can basically add some number of days, or add some number of months, or add some number of years, so as to generate future dates. Okay, so what is the format of it? Now within the parenthesis of the dateadd function, you can specify number of days. For number of days, you can write here small d. Okay, then comma. After comma, I have written here 120. Okay, then comma, get date function. So what this dateadd function will do here, it will basically generate you the future date. It will basically generate you the future date in terms of 120 days from today's date. Okay, so whatever is the date today, which is 4th of December 2024, then 120 days from today's date, what will be that future date? That's what dateadd function will generate. So d is for number of days. Okay, 120 means 120 days, and here get date function means with respect to the get date will give you the present date, that is today's date, that is current date. So after 120 days from today's date, what will be the future date? That's what the date add function will give you. So select line number 6 and hit the execute button, and you see after 120 days from today's date, the date, that is the future date, will be 2025 0403. 2025 0403. Besides that, we have the timestamp, and it means 3rd April. 3rd April 2025. That will be the future date, which we will get after 120 days from today's date. Now, this was with respect to number of days. Similarly, you can go for number of months also. So for that, you can write this M. Okay, only M. So go to line number 8. Let me scroll down a little bit. Go to line number 8 and give the select keyword. After that, use this function, which is your dateadd function. And within the parenthesis of the dateadd function, you have to specify the format which it will accept. Like here at first, in which format you want, number of days, number of months, or number of years. Previously, we saw how to do it in number of days. Now, how to do it in number of months. So for that, this capital M you can give, or small m also you can give. and it is okay. So this will be for number of months, comma 5. That means after 5 months, comma get date function. So get date function shall give you the present date or today's date or current date. So m comma 5 comma get date. M comma 5 comma get date means what will be the future date? What will be the future date from today's date after 5 months? Okay, what will be the future date from today's date after 5 months? So that future date will be generated here. So line number 8, you have to select, hit the execute button, and it is 2025 0504. Year is 2025, month is 05, that means May, and date is 04. So 4th of May 2025 will be your future date. Now similarly go to line number 10, and here instead of number of days and number of months, you can give for number of years also. Again, the dateadd function you have to use here, and within the parenthesis you can specify number of years. For number of years, this double y you can specify. Okay, so yy comma 4. So you must have understood that what I'm trying to do here, that is after 4 years from today's date. And for today's date, you have to use the getDate function. Okay, so yy comma 4 comma get date, yy comma 4 comma get date. Yy will give you for the number of years. Okay, d will give you for days, m will give you for months, yy will give you for years. So yy comma 4 means after 4 years, then comma get date. Get date means today's date. So what will be the future date? What will be the future date from today's date after 4 years? Okay, what will be the future date from today's date after 4 years? So line number 10 you have to select and hit the execute button. So after 4 years from today's date, after 4 years from today's date, the future date will be 2028, which is the year, then 12, which is the month, and 04, which is the date. That means 4th December 2028. 4th December 2028 will be the future date. Okay, that we shall get after 4 years from today's date, and today's date is 4th of December 2024. Then just a recap, if you remember this table also, emp2 underscore 2 table, here we had the database for all the 132 employees, like eid values, name values, address 1 values, address 2 values, city values, phone values, email values, date of birth values, date of joining values, all these things. Now, initially here, while like just a recap means sometimes you may see that the date of birth or date of joining you have forgotten to convert into the date format. So for that, we have already seen how to do it. Like if suppose my DOB was in varchar, DOJ was also in varchar. Okay, and I want these columns to be in the date format. Then what you have to do? You have to update this particular table where the column is there, like DOB column is there inside this EMP2 underscore 2 table. So if I'm trying to change the format of a column, that means I'm changing that particular table also, because the column belongs to the table. I am doing some sort of modification to a column of the table, means it is impacting the table also. So for that we use update. So update this particular table emp2 underscore 2, and then set the dob column. Set the dob column, you have to set it in the date format. So for that, what we do, we use the convert function, and within the parenthesis you have to write this date format, comma the column on which we are trying to do dob, comma this line code you have to give 105. Okay, so by selecting update emp2 underscore 2 set dob is equals to convert date dob 105, will set it up to be ready for the date format. Okay, this line will ensure that the date column will be now ready to be converted into the date format, and hit the execute button. In my case, it was already in date format, but this is just for a recap. Similarly, for the DOJ column also same thing, update the table, that is suppose DOJ column was in varchar format, and I want it to be converted into the date format. So that means I will be changing the format of this doj column, which is present in which table? emp2 underscore 2 table. That means ultimately I'm updating this table, so you have to give update this table name emp2 underscore 2, then set the doj column. So set doj is equals to, and you can convert this into date format using the convert function. So you have to use the convert function here. Then within the parenthesis, date format, then comma the column on which you're trying to do it. So doj comma 105, and hit line number 15 and execute button. So now this column is also ready to be converted into the date format. And ultimately now you can go for this line number 17, where we can finally alter the DOB and DOJ into the date format. Okay, we have already covered these things in our previous classes, so please look into those videos. So ultimately, you will be changing the format because the columns are now ready. Okay, so now you will be altering the format into date. So that means you're altering the table. So alter table emp2 underscore 2, alter column. This syntax you have to give, and then the column on which you're trying to make the alteration, which is DOB, and into the date format. So lines 17, 18 need to be selected and hit the execute button. Similarly, go to line number 20, because in case of DOJ column also it is ready to be converted or altered into the date format. So if column is being altered, because here we were setting up the values, or here we were setting up it to be into the date format. Now ultimately the alteration impact has to be made. Okay, so for that, alter command. So alter table, this syntax you have to give on which table, emp2 underscore 2, then on which column. For that syntax is alter column, and then you have to specify on which column, which is doj, and in which format, date format. So select lines 20 and 21, hit the execute button. So both have been converted, because both have been converted into the date format. We can see commands completed successfully. Now go to line number 23. Here what I've written, select asterisk comma, then after that you have another function known as date date diff date diff. This is a date difference function. This is a date difference function which can calculate the difference between dates. Okay, and what is the format? Now format is, suppose here I am giving here yy, means in terms of number of years. Here we have the doj, date of joining of the employees, comma get date means today's date, that is present date. And ultimately this function date difference, it will give you a column under which you will have values, and the name of the column I have here specified as tenure. Okay, from which table? From emp2 underscore 2 table, because if you remember, the doj column belongs to this particular table emp2 underscore 2, isn't it? So, what does it actually mean? It means that what is the tenure of employees up to today's date? Like many employees have joined in say 2012. So, with respect to today's date, what is their tenure in terms of number of years? If they have joined in 2012, then it is 12 years. If some have joined in 2010, it is 14 years. If some have joined in say 1999, then it must be 25 years. Okay, so here date difference will do what? Date difference, that is date diff, it shall yield you the number of years values. It shall yield you the number of years of values in terms of what? Now by calculating the difference between doj and get date. Get date will give you the present date, and doj reflects the date of joining of employees. So between these two dates, what is the number of years? And those values we shall get for all the employees under a column, and the column name is tenure. So line number 23 you select and hit the execute button. And see, if you remember, select asterisk comma and then you give your query, then the resulting column, the output column that we are trying to get, will be displayed at the end, which is here, tenure. See, the first row, it is 12. See, DOJ of this person, DOJ, date of joining of this person is in 2012, and right now it is 2024. So it is 12 years of difference. Then for the second row also, you see 12. This particular person has joined in 2012 and right now it is 2024. So the date difference, that is date DIFF, shall calculate this difference between the two dates, which is date of joining and present date, in terms of number of years. So today's date is 2024 and date of joining is 2012. So the difference between these two dates will be calculated in terms of number of years, which is 12. Now this particular person has joined in 2013 and right now it is 2024. So the date difference shall calculate the difference of dates between these two columns for this particular person in terms of number of years, which is 11 years. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. Then go to line number 25. Now in line number 25, suppose I give this command. So date difference is another function, date function. Okay. Similarly, we have some other date function like simply day. Simply this day function. Okay, function, and inside this day function, you can give this get date function. So function within a function. Function date here outside you have this date function, which is a day function. In, inside this day function, you can give the get date function. So select line number 25 and execute. It is what? It is giving you today's date, only today's date, which is 4. Okay, that is what is today's date, not in terms of months, not in terms of years, just simply the date, which is 04. So in this way, you can basically place date function within a date function. Like this day function is what? It is ultimately a date function only. And this get date function is also a date function. So here we have nested date functions. Date function inside a date function. Similarly, if you go to line number 26, after select, you see another date function known as month. This is another date function, and inside this month function I'm placing here get date function. So you can understand already what we are going to get. If you select this, you see 12. Okay, it is 12 because it is December, that's why. Okay, so the numeric value of the month you shall get, and which is 12 for December. Similarly, line number 27, here another date function you have, which is year, and within this date function you can place this get date function. Okay, get date function ultimately will give you today's date, that is present date. So select year, and within this year function you can write get date function. So go to line number 27, select and hit the execute button. It is 2024, that is year. Okay, now similarly go to line number 29, and here you have another date function which is known as date part. Date part, what is the format? Now d for number of days and get date function after that. Okay, that you have to specify what it will yield. If you go to line number 29 and execute it, you see again you will get just today's date only. Okay, so line number 25, if you select, that is day, and within the where day is the date function, and inside this date function you give the get date function, then you will just get today's date only, excluding the month, excluding the year, just the date, which is 4. And this 4 can be generated by line number 29 also, with the help of this date function, which is known as date part function. And within the parenthesis of this date part function, this is the format you have to give. That is, what is the day today? Day means the date. Okay, day means the date, and get date function you have to specify, that is present date. So excluding this will exclude the month and year and simply generate you the date of today. Then similarly go to line number 31. In line number 31, select asterisk comma. So that means ultimately a resulting column will be generated at the end. Then here I'm using that date add function. You must be remembering that date add function, just now we covered it. And so here you have to, here I'm writing the date add function. Within the parenthesis of the date add function, what I'm writing, m comma 3 comma doj. M comma 3 comma doj means what? Okay, first let me tell this. Then the parenthesis closes as then within single invert commas, end of probation. From which table? from emp2 underscore to table, because this doj column is present in which table? It is present in emp2 underscore to table. Okay, so that's why from emp2 underscore 2 you have to specify, because this doj column, if you have to access, then you can get it from the emp2 underscore 2 table. And the resulting column I have written here as end of probation. So the name of the column will be end of probation, means probationary period of the employees. Probationary period of the employee. Suppose it is 3 months. Okay, suppose a person has joined on 1st of January 2012. So that particular person's probation period will be for 3 months. After 3 months, that particular person's probation period will end. So how to do that? Again, I'm repeating. Suppose a person has joined on 2012, 1st of January, and the person when joined the organization will be under some probationary period. And suppose there in that company, the probationary period is just for 3 months. So after 3 months, the employee will be permanent. Okay. That is get promotion from the probationary period. The person will no longer be under probationary period just for 3 months. The probationary period is just for 3 months. So how will you do it? For months, here it is in terms of number of months. So capital M you have to give, or small m also. How many months? 3 months. With respect to which column? With respect to the date of joining column. So go to line number 31, select this and hit the execute button, and you see the resulting column has been generated at the end of probation. So for the first row, you see under the doj column, date of joining column, this person joined in 2012 March 16. So that particular person's probationary period will end on 2012 06, that is June 16, 3 months. Okay, so like if probationary dates, if you want to find out the end of probationary dates for these employees, then this is how you're going to do it. That is, what will be the end date for probation of the employees under this organization. And suppose if the probationary period is just for 3 months, that is, the employees will be under probation for just for 3 months. And with respect to that, what will be the date where their probationary period will end? Then in that case, you have to use this dateadd function, which will give you the future date. That is future date with respect to 2012 0316. Okay, for this particular person, for example. Similarly for the other persons also. All of them have joined way before 2024. This is a hypothetical database that I had created, and most of their joinings were in I created intentionally in 2010, 12, 13, 14, like that. So with respect to the DOJ, what will be the end of probationary period? That is date. What will be the total date for end of probationary period for all the employees? Where the probationary period is just for 3 months. So after 3 months, you will get the end of probation period date for all the employees. What will be that? How to generate? For that, you have to use the dateadd function within the parenthesis in terms of number of months it is, because after 3 months the probationary period will end. How many months? 3 months. With respect to which column? Date of joining column. Okay. Then go to line number 33. If you select, then another function is format. This is just for decoration, date decoration. Okay. Select format, within parenthesis you give get date function, then comma, within single inverted commas you write capital Y, that is year. That capital Y is for year. Select line number 33 and hit the execute button, and in the output you see December 2024, month and just the year. Then line number 34, again select and give this format function. Inside this format function, specify today's date, that is current date, that you can get from the get date function, comma M, that is months. Okay, and select line number 34, hit the execute button. It is month is December, and the date is also displayed here, which is 4th of December. Then go to line number 35. Again you can use the format function, and again you can use the get date function, and then within the single invert commas you can write capital D or small d also, so in terms of number of days. So go to line number 35, hit the execute button, and it will give you total thing, that is which day it is today, Wednesday. Okay, which month it is, December, which date it is, that is 4th, which year it is, 2024. Okay, this is for just for decoration. Then suppose you have something known as find out find out the employees who have joined in the month of October. So just find out those particular employees who have joined this organization in the month of October. So that means you have to attack on which column? You have to attack on the DOJ column, date of joining column. So go to line number 38 and here select asterisk from EMP2 underscore 2. It is that table where we have got that DOJ column. That's why I've chosen this table. Select asterisk from EMP2 underscore 2, where under EMP2 underscore 2 you have the DOJ column. Where, where, and then we saw this month function. We saw the month function, and within the parenthesis of the month function you have to specify the DOJ column. Okay, just like previously we saw that within the parenthesis of the month function we can give the get date function also. The get date function will give you what? Today's date, present date, that is current date. Similarly, the DOJ column, there you have the dates for date of joining. Under the DOJ column you have the dates for joining of the employees, dates of joinings of employees. So all those values you can get under the DOJ column. So if I write here month function and then within the parenthesis of the month function, if I write DOJ column, then what will happen? Under the DOJ column, you have year, you have month, and you have the date. So only month will be extracted. Okay, only month will be extracted. So how will the records be displayed? Now, wherever the month is 10, wherever the month is 10, only for those particular employees, the records will be displayed. 10 means October. Month number 10 means it is October month. So line number 38, you select line number 38 to 39, and you will see all the records are displayed. Like there are three employees, this person and this person, who have joined this organization in the month of October. You see DOJ here. For this DOJ, the joining month is October. Here for this person also under the DOJ column, joining month is October. Here also for this particular person under the DOJ column, the joining month is October. Okay. So select asterisk from EMP2 underscore 2. All the records will be displayed from this table, but where? Only condition is applied here, where the month of DOJ, where the month of DOJ is equals to 10. So where the month function will be applied on DOJ column, and it shall extract all the month values, and whichever values are equals to 10, only for those the corresponding records will be displayed. Okay, like here three people have joined the organization in the month of October 10. Now similarly in this way also you can do it, like select asterisk from emp2 underscore 2, display all the records from this particular table emp2 underscore 2, where then instead of month function, you can use the date part function also. Okay, and within the parenthesis of the date part function, you can write m comma doj. Okay, inside the date part function, if you remember, we just now saw, you have to specify the month, and the get date we have previously we had specified the get date function, which would yield today's date, having the year, month, and date. And in place of get date function, I'm placing here the DOJ column. The DOJ column also has YYYYMMDD format, that is the corresponding date formats. Date formats for what? Now dates of joinings for all the employees in terms of YYYYMMDD. So here date part function will do what? Now with respect to the date part function, inside the parenthesis you have to write m comma doj. So the month values will be extracted from this doj column, and all those values, whichever values will be equal to 10, for them only the corresponding records will be displayed. So that is the job of the date part function. Inside the parenthesis of the date part function, you have to specify the month, that is m, comma, the column on which you want to attack. It must be a date column, which is our DOJ in this case, because we are interested for those employees who have joined in the month of October, that is month number 10. So m comma doj, and ultimately the date part function here will extract the month values with respect to the doj column. With respect to the doj column, all the month values will be extracted, and only those values which are equal to 10, for them the corresponding records will be displayed. So select lines 41 to 42 and hit the execute button. These three records only we are getting again, because only these people have joined in the month of October, that is 10. Okay, then suppose you have this particular question. Find out employees. Find out employees who are more than 35 years of age. So basically you have to find out those particular employees who are more than 35 years of age. So what to do here? Select asterisk comma, so that means resulting column you will get at the end. Then I'm using here the date difference function, that is date diff. What it will do now, it will basically find out the difference. It will find out the difference of dates between two date columns in terms of number of years, for which I've specified YY, and the columns you have to specify, that is DOB column and get date, that is with respect to present date, current date. Okay, dob column is also a date column that consists of what? Now dates, the date of births of all the employees. Okay, and the resulting column, the resulting column will come out, and that name of the column I have specified here within the single inverted commas, which is age greater than equals to 35. Okay, okay, it should be yeah, age greater than equals to 35, because it should be the question like, find out employees who are not only more than 35 years of age, who are equal to or more than 35 years of age, who are, you know, who are equal or more than 35 years of age. That should be the actual question here. So that's why the name of the column here I've specified as age greater than is equals to 35. From which table? emp2 underscore 2 table, because from emp2 underscore 2 table only we can get our date of birth. And then the condition you have to specify, where, and then again date difference function you have to use date diff. Okay, date diff, and within the parenthesis you have to give it like this in terms of number of years, and the date difference function will calculate the difference of dates between these two columns, that is date of birth, and the get date function. Get date function will give you the present date. Okay, so the number of years will be calculated here. The date difference function shall calculate the difference of dates between these two, that is date of birth and get date, in terms of number of years. So values will be generated for each employee, and that will be compared as greater than or equals to 35. So whichever value will be greater than or equals to 35, only for those the corresponding records will be displayed. So if I repeat again, date difference function you have to use here at first. Okay, because ultimately select asterisk comma and then this date difference function you are giving. So this will yield you a column, resulting column, that will appear at the end thanks to this asterisk comma, and the name of that column I have given here as age greater than or equals to 35, and I want to find out the age of my employees, but only for those who are who are equal to or more than 35 years of age. So date difference function will calculate the difference. It will basically calculate the difference of dates between these two columns, that is DOB and get date function, and that calculation will be done in terms of number of years for all the employees, and that shall be displayed, but only their records will be displayed. Only those records will be displayed where the values will be greater than or is equals to 35. Okay, this particular thing and this particular thing are the same. They are the same. Okay, here date difference function values will be compared with this 35 value. Whichever value is greater than or equals to 35, only for those the corresponding records will be displayed. So select lines 45 to 46 and hit the execute button, and you see There are if you look at, if you follow the cursor, if you follow the cursor and look at the bottom right hand corner, 35 rows. 35 rows means 35 employees. So there are 35 employees who are greater than equals to 35 years of age. There are 35 employees who are greater than or equals to 35 years of age. So like this, you see, everything is either great, everything will be greater than or equals to 35 value. Okay. uh, so that was it for this class, my dear friends. If you have liked this video, then please hit the like, share and subscribe button, and press the bell icon button also for notifications. So thank you.